Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn what is batch normalization in deep learning, why it is useful and how it works. Now let's dive into the video. Deep neural networks contain huge layers. When the data passes through these layers, the distribution of activations can change significantly, and this makes training slower and less stable. Therefore, to solve this issue, there is an important technique called batch normalization in deep learning. So, what is batch normalization? It is a technique that normalizes the activations of a neural network layer using data computed from small batches of training examples. It works by normalizing the inputs of each layer in a network so they have a mean of 0 and variance of 1. Therefore, it is a method used to make training deep neural network faster and more stable. Why do we need batch normalization? The training of deep neural networks can be difficult because the distribution of activation keeps changing during training process. For example, when weights are updated, the layer 1 changes. Then it leads to input changes in layer 2. Similarly, input get changes in layer 3. Therefore, output changes and the training becomes unstable. Hence, this phenomenon is referred to as internal covariate shift. In this way, without normalization, deep networks run into various problems like internal covariate shift. Here, each layer's input distribution changes when there are updates of previous layers, forcing later layers to constantly readapt, which slows down the training. Another is vanishing or exploding gradients. Poorly scaled activations can push values into regions where gradients are extremely small or extremely large, making the optimization difficult, especially in deep networks. Next is slow convergence. Layers constantly have to adapt to a moving target, drastically slowing down the training. Sensitivity to initialization. Networks required incredibly precise initializations and very small learning rates to prevent blowing up. Need for careful tuning. Without batch normalization, user must be very careful with learning rate schedule and initialization strategies. Therefore, batch normalization solves these issues by keeping activations in a well-behaved range throughout the training. The standard steps during training are: first, let's consider one layer's pre-activation outputs X for a given mini batch. The step 1 is to calculate the mini batch mean. For each feature, we compute the mean over the current mini batch. So this is the formula to calculate that. Here, M is the batch size. And the step 2 is to calculate the mini batch variance. For each feature, we compute the variance over that mini batch, and the formula goes like this. Step 3 is to normalize. Here, we use the mean and the variance to standardize each sample. The formula goes like this. Here, epsilon is a small constant added for numerical stability, avoiding division by 0. Step 4 is scale and shift, and the formula is like this. Here, gamma and beta are the learnable parameters. This step is important because it allows the network to undo the normalization if that's what's optimal, giving the model flexibility rather than forcing every activation to strictly have mean of 0 and variance 1. Step 5. Training versus inference. During training, batch normalization uses the batch statistics, that is mean and variance, and running or the moving averages of mean and variances are updated. Whereas during inference, these running averages are used instead of batch statistics, so predictions are deterministic and independent of batch size. So these are the steps to perform in batch normalization. Advantages of using batch normalization. Faster training. That means by stabilizing layer inputs, we can use much higher learning rates, drastically cutting down the training time. Improved gradient flow. By keeping activations well scaled and centered, batch normalization reduces vanishing or the exploding gradients and allows much deeper architectures to train. less dependent on initialization. That is, we don't have to be precise with how we initialize the weights. Regularization effect. As the mean and variance are calculated over many batches, it introduces a small amount of noise which can reduce overfitting, sometimes reducing the need for the dropout. Enables deeper networks. By mitigating vanishing or exploding gradients, batch normalization makes it easier to train deep architectures. Disadvantages. Dependent on batch size. Batch normalization statistics are computed per mini batch, so it performs poorly with very small batches where the mean and variance estimates become noisy and unreliable. Extra computation and memory overhead. Extra computation and memory are needed to store batch statistics, gamma and beta parameters, especially on large models and datasets. Not ideal for sequence models. In RNNs or sequence-based architectures, batch statistics can vary a lot across time steps, making batch normalization less effective. More complex behavior and interpretability. Added layers and dependence on batch statistics makes the model's behavior difficult to interpret. So, these are some of the disadvantages of batch normalization. Applications. Computer vision. Batch normalization is used in CNN architectures and many object detection and segmentation models. Deep learning framework. TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras all have built-in batch norm layers, reflecting how standard the technique has become. Industrial machine learning systems. Companies training large-scale image, videos, and speech models rely on batch normalization for stable, faster training models. Academic research. Batch normalization is implemented in TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras, and used in various research papers. So these are some of the applications of batch normalization. Summary. Okay, that's all for batch normalization. We understand that batch normalization is a technique used to normalize layer activations during training. The process involves computing the mean and variance of mini batch, normalizing values, and then applying learnable scaling and shifting. It speeds up training, improves convergence, and reduces vanishing and exploding gradients. Batch normalization is widely used in modern deep learning architectures and framework. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.